plays Danganronpa. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The full title of the game is actually Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. We're going to give this a bit of a go. I thought I'd give a bit of an explanation as to why we're looking at this game. So it's been quite a while since I've done a Game Designer Plays stream, and one of the reasons I've not really been doing it is I've been struggling a little bit figuring out what kind of game would be interesting to people. That's basically my only excuse. My apologies. Had to get rid of that chewing gum. So what I'm trying to do with the Game Designer Plays stream is to obviously add a little bit of extra value by looking at stuff through the lens of my profession, which most often has been that of game designer in one capacity or another. And there's always this little balancing act of figuring out like a game that is both very interesting to people, but also where you can fit the analysis of said game into the kind of format that I like. Like I'm not a massive fan of doing, you know, super duper intricate detailed designs of games that are kind of similar. Like I have to apologize if this is a little bit self-indulgent, but I'd rather look at something that gives me some sort of joy to analyze instead of going into the nitty-gritty and doing like reverse engineering of numerical tables and stuff like that. So it's about finding something that is interesting from my point of view and that I think could fit into the format that I'm trying to go for, because I've done a few streams in the past that have gone on for way too long for everyone's liking, so I'm trying to stick to some sort of more acceptable type format, right? So that's basically it. So that's my reason for not having done anything so far, but now I found this game that is Danganronpa, and I have my reasons for doing this game as well, and I'm going to go into them a little bit as we watch the game. I don't know how many of you are familiar with it, but this is like a visual novel, like a Japanese-style adventure game played from the first-person perspective. I'm not going to say too much about it because I'm going to let the game speak for itself. What's going to be interesting to, at least from my point of view, and I hope you'll like it as well, is that while we're playing, we will of course be doing some commenting, but I am also going to be showing the game's structure in a way that I hope you haven't seen so much before. I'm going to go through some mind map, mind manager type breakdowns so that we can look at how the game is actually constructed and designed. Like what are the components that make up Danganronpa. This I hope is going to happen as like kind of a latter half. What I hope to be able to do today is to get through the first so-called game loop of the game. So that means essentially finishing the first chapter. We will see if that works out. I've actually played the game before on my PS4, I believe. So this is the second time I've played the game, which is going to put me in a much better situation, a much better position to actually talk about it. The chat is active if you guys have any sort of specific questions or anything like that. I realize I don't have a massive following. I think many of you might actually be watching this on YouTube when I put it up there after the fact. So of course, any questions that come up on YouTube, I'll have to answer in the comments field. So if you're with me now and if you're checking this out in real time, please use the chat. You know, keep everything clean. And let's have fun. So I'm going to talk as little as I possibly can while cutscenes and stuff are running, because I realize for many of you, you haven't really seen the game before, and I want, like, to whatever extent it's possible, I want to let you stay in the fiction. The game is really, really good. So let's go. Okay, here is the splash screen type launcher. I'm doing a 720p presentation because I'm hoping to jump in and out of the game and kind of drag and drop certain other things in here. So sorry for seeing my desktop and everything. Okay, shutting up, watching intro. Maybe doing a bit of a dance, because the music is awesome in this game. So there it is, the ominous intro cutscene, or like whatever you call it. I'm not sure that's quite the intro cutscene. Let's go through this. So standard settings, the kind of stuff that you'd expect from most games. Controls are a little bit wonky. This is clearly originally meant for a controller, so I'm figuring out mouse and keyboard now myself for the first time. You have the options that you'd expect: background music volume, sound effects volume, voice volume, vertical speeds, and so on and so forth. Let me know if there's any volume that needs changing, ideally now. It's one of the reasons why I'm speaking over everything, so I hope that you can still hear the game as well as myself to a satisfactory degree. Let's hop back out then and jump into the actual game, and we will probably be treated to yet another cutscene. Look forward to that one. We're going to do this in English because that just makes everything easier. It means I don't necessarily have to read everything out to people who don't understand Japanese. By the way, I also don't understand Japanese. Not that well anyway. Yeah, so we're going to be doing this in English, and go. Oh, right. There are difficulty selections. Never mind those for the time being. Clever thing about this intro cutscene, as is so often the case in good anime, is it makes really little sense now, but it makes all the sense once you've beaten the game. It's not even a spoiler. So as I say, the intro cutscene is a little bit nonsensical, at least in the grander scheme of things, but it's already communicating certain things to us. For instance, that bear is kind of disturbing. It's a kind of disturbing bear. Also, someone just died in a very gruesome and very elaborate way. Alright, the massive high school towers over all other buildings in this bustling urban area. So interesting thing about the game, it's it does the visual novel adventure game thing of not really localizing and vocalizing every single line of dialogue. You know, for obvious reasons, because that would just get crazy. There's a lot of dialogue in the game. But the most important stuff is generally spoken by the characters, especially in... well, we'll get into that later, but there are special segments, special story segments where, you know, a lot of the dialogue is spoken. Indeed, all of the dialogue is spoken, because otherwise the scene wouldn't work. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Oh, look at that. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. So what is it with the high school phase in Japan? Like, so many games take place in high school. Maybe it's because the works themselves are targeted at high school students. It could be that simple. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me.
Before we go any farther, I guess I should introduce myself. My name's Makoto Naegi.
As you can see, I'm nothing but a hopelessly average high school student. I'm, by the way, not going to try to talk like Naegi. Average on the outside, average on the inside. I really don't have much going for me when it comes to grades, special abilities, even personality. I mean, yeah, I have hobbies and stuff I like to do, but it's not like I'm psychic or mutant or whatever. Like, if you asked me what my favorite song was or my favorite movie or TV show, they'd all just be whatever's most popular at that particular moment. Even among the average, I'm completely average, so I can't even say I'm your everyday hero type. Well, it's true. Then again, you're kind of an everyday average person type. We see a lot of those in games as well. It's almost a necessary thing because you're supposed to be representing the player, and the player is more likely than not an every person. You know, not the ultimate at anything, really. That's just who I am. Alright? Anyway, I figure it's always good to introduce yourself right off the bat. Cool. Now, why is he talking to us? Is he talking to us? Not really. This is one of those things that you just accept in games. Like, he's kind of talking to the audience, but not really talking to the audience. Is he thinking out loud? I don't know. Generally doesn't bother me so much. It could be a little bit confusing though, because the game's played from a first-person perspective, and now that we've had Makoto look at us, essentially look at the camera, at some point we're going to have it explained to us that we're suddenly looking from within his eyes, so to speak. So, yeah, let's see how they sort that out. But you know, if I have any kind of strong point, so to speak, I'd say I'm a little more gung-ho than other people. Alright then. I mean, look at me. I'm completely ordinary, but still. Here I am, standing in front of the anything but ordinary Hope Speak Academy. I still can't believe I'm standing here. I wonder if someone like me can survive in a place like this. It's got this overwhelming presence, like it's trying to swallow me whole. But it's no wonder I would feel that way. What you have to understand is, well, let me just tell you about the preparation I did last night to get ready for today. Hope Speak only invites those students who are the truly elite in their field. It's such a popular topic, there are threads online dedicated to talking about the school's attendees. So, to prepare, I looked up some of those threads, and all I saw was talk about ultimate students who were way beyond your average high schooler. For example, one incoming student is the ultimate pop sensation. I guess she's a high school girl who's also the lead singer for a pop group famous all over the country. There's also the ultimate baseball star. He was the cleanup hitter for the national high school champs. Pro teams already have their eyes on him. Then there's the ultimate fashionista. She's been on the cover of tons of fashion magazines. She's what every high school girl wants to be. Not sure if sexist. Oh, and they mentioned the ultimate biker gang leader too. Like, okay, so this is where the premise breaks a little bit. Like, if you know for a fact this person is the ultimate biker gang leader, maybe don't send him to Hope Speak High, maybe send him to prison or juvie or some shit. Scary thing is, he's the de facto leader of every biker gang in Japan. Gangs everywhere love the guy. Quite a role model, it would seem. On top of that, there's the ultimate martial artist, the ultimate fanfic creator, the ultimate gambler. This is so Japanese, I love it. The ultimate swimming pro, the ultimate programmer, the ultimate clairvoyant, and then some. Reading that made me realize how totally powerless I was. It was the country's finest, top to bottom. I felt like a tame little house cat who'd wander into a pride of lions. It's poetic. But still, there was something I couldn't stop thinking about. You see, there were a few students who I couldn't find any info on, no matter how much I looked. With all those ultimate students, I'm the only one without any kind of worthwhile talent. But then, what about those other new students who didn't seem to pop up anywhere? Could they be just average students like me, without any talent or anything? That thought was kind of encouraging. I mean, I know I don't have much in the way of personality. But beyond that, there's an even bigger issue. How did such an unbelievably average student like me get picked to come to this ultimate high school? I mean, I guess there is a reason. You just have to take one glance at the acceptance letter they sent to see why. They sent me to see why. We recently held a lottery to select one ordinary student to attend our school. As a result, you've been selected and we invite you to join us as the ultimate lucky student. Guess that's an acceptance criteria then. They spelled it out plain as day. I got invited by pure luck. Honestly, I probably would have been better off just declining their offer. But after hearing how graduating was a guarantee for success later in life, I just couldn't say no. But then, actually standing there in front of the school, I started to feel lost, like I didn't belong there. I could feel myself losing my nerve. But still, I can't just stand here in front of the gate forever. Frozen in place, murmuring to myself, I looked down at the acceptance letter clutched in my hand. It said there'd be a meeting for all incoming students in the main hall at 8 AM. The meeting still isn't for a little while, but I should probably just head in. By the way, in what school aren't there like loads of people outside just hanging out? Feels a bit weird, but okay. Yeah, let's do this. I gathered up all my determination and tried to act like I'd done this a million times before. And I took my first step toward the main hall. This is where we're supposed to meet, right? I guess I'm the first one here. Yeah. There's a really elegant clock over in the corner. It says it's 7:10 AM. The meeting doesn't start until 8 o'clock, so there's still a full 50 minutes left. It makes sense nobody else would be here yet, does it? I was so wound up I got here way too early. I have plenty of time before the meeting. Just standing around waiting isn't exactly... I should take a look around the school. Maybe that'll help me calm down a little. I am a student here now, so there shouldn't be any problem with me having a look around, right? It'll help me kill some time if nothing else. Trying to play cool, I took my first step into Hope Speak Academy. It was also my first step towards starting a new life at a new school. At least, that's what I was hoping for. And then vertigo happens. What the? But the instant I took that first step forward, my view became warped, twisted. It was like some kind of delusion, melting away and mixing together into something else. Spinning, mixing, melting away, then spinning again. And the next moment, everything went black. That was how it all began. And how life as I knew it came to an end. At that point I should have realized the reason I was brought to Hope Speak Academy wasn't because I had ultimate good luck. It was so I could experience ultimate despair. Sounds ominous? So, prologue. Welcome to despair. Would you like to save the data? Of course I would. Yes. Let's save. Empty slot 1. Save here. And now the game really starts for Serial. Before we proceed a little bit, I just want to make a few quick observations about what just happened. So we just had this introductory cutscene, effectively, right? And since this is Game Designer Plays, I thought we'd spend a little bit of time of just breaking down a little bit what we've seen. What were the components used in composing this scene that we just witnessed? Well, we had basically background images, right? Some of these background images featured characters on them, but you know, there was no real overlaying necessarily. I think there was this one scene where Makoto is looking towards us, so I think maybe that's done with basically him being cropped out and put over a black background or something. But basically it was just a bunch of stills, some of them larger than the frame of the screen, so that the camera could kind of pan. And then there was the background music, there was written text, right? And there were a couple of sound effects, like for example when the game transitioned from Makoto being outside the school to going into the school. That's just a handful of different categories of things, and the only thing that you saw a whole lot of was actual text. Now text is probably the cheapest thing that you can produce. That's not to say that it's easy, because good writing is infinitely more difficult to make than bad writing, I feel. But it's still relatively cheap to do, considering how much time we just spent in that intro. Indeed, small spoiler alert, at one point during the franchise, there's a character that kind of breaks the fourth wall and talks about adventure games in general and says, you know, there are plenty of reasons to make adventure games, not to mention, or not least of which is budgetary reasons. Right? So they're already commenting and you know, making a self-referential point about it being pretty cost effective to make these kinds of games. So we've just had like a 5, almost 10 minute intro sequence off the back of nothing but a handful of stills, some text, some music, and a few sound effects maybe. And much of the graphics that we saw, we will see several times again, so it's reusable. I mean, compare that to a Final Fantasy-esque CG intro that would take place during the same amount of time. It's just mind-boggling what the difference is in cost. So even if a game like this only sells a few 100,000 copies, I think it's a pretty cost-effective exercise, right? Okay, moving on. Makoto went somewhere. What happened? So, sorry to interrupt again. So this is interesting. So, you see how this dialogue box is written? So it says speaking in the top right corner, and that part of it gets removed when the character is not actually speaking. That's a good way of making the distinction between speaking and not speaking. Mind you, though, the only thing Makoto is saying right now is ... So it's kind of almost a little bit paradoxical. Moving on. Oh. Yep. Here we go. What? Where am I? So, he didn't actually say these last two things, but he did make a noise. This is one trick that this game and this genre of games will often employ, and you've probably also seen it in games like Persona. So it's just to remind you what the voice and tone of the character is, who is doing the speaking. It can also be a trick that reminds you of who it is that is doing the talking, when there are no like icons or whatever to indicate this. Characters will say kind of generic lines, and then the text will say something in the generic line, but you're at least reminded of who is speaking and what kind of tone of voice they're speaking in, and also a little bit about the mood they're in, hopefully. Where am I? Says Makoto. Now speaking is gone and the text is blue. So this is more narrating. I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body feels heavy. It's pretty normal for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? This isn't a classroom I've ever been in before. What the heck is going on? And now we're in a new mode. So this is the tutorial. This is completely out of context. You will notice that the frame that used to exist on top of the dialogue box is gone. This is to indicate that this is not a character speaking, this is the narrator. For functional purposes, mind you, if you're to build a game like this, you should probably identify the narrator as a character in his or her own right, for purely technical reasons, because otherwise it just gets really messy. You might as well have a narrator called a narrator. Whether or not you write it on the screen is up to you, but trust me, think of the narrator as its own character and you're going to thank me later. Welcome to HopeSpeak Academy. Firstly, we'd like to explain the basic controls. You can use the mouse to adjust your aim, thank you. If you aim at an object you can interact with, you can press the left mouse button, and presto, you'll investigate that object. Brilliant. Use the WASD buttons to adjust your viewpoint, or you can press and hold the right mouse button and move the mouse around. Okay, that's interesting. Here's some bad PC porting. Like, I'm not quite sure what happened there. There's some sort of like artifact with the text. But yeah, that's a little bit fun. So you see that the text overlaps the mouse icon, and lazy PC port is lazy. Also, how do they not catch this? This is like the beginning of the game. God. Anyway, why don't you try looking around the classroom? That is a good idea. So I'm moving my cursor around, right? It moves in 2D over the classroom or whatever I have in frame, and then I can rotate with the WASD, look up and down. I'm sure maybe I can invert these, I'm not sure. And then I can click on stuff and investigate. What the heck? In any normal classroom, that's where a window should be, but it looks like some kind of metal plate has been bolted over it. And if I were to knock on it, bang bang, as you can hear. Yup. Definitely metal. Thick, too. Very solid. That's a Donald Trump line. Wait, that's not what matters here. More importantly, why are there metal plates over the windows? Indeed. What's this? Is that a surveillance camera? It's a dangerous world we live in. I guess they have these to keep weirdos from just wandering in. That's fair enough. It's up there. Oh, it's a clock. Geez, I can't believe it's already 8 o'clock. It was just after 7 when I first got here. Has it really been almost an hour since then? Let's look at the clock again real quick. So this is an interesting thing. Because of the kind of content they've decided to use for this game, they're using all these so-called pre-rendered backgrounds, right? They make the art and then they basically leave it alone, and sometimes they superimpose other objects on top of the backgrounds. But this clock is clearly part of the background. You see the hands of the clock anywhere? No, because if you did, they'd have to make a new asset, a new background, every single time they needed the clock to tell you something else. I mean, either that or they could make like a 3D clock, of course, but that's the thing they haven't chosen to do. So you'll see some of these little switcheroos sometimes, like when you have the same object and it needs to say different things at different times during the course of the game, they'll still use the same asset and then they'll just use dialogue to explain that it says something, and then they'll basically not have hands on the clock or something. We'll see a lot of that throughout this series. It's just after 7 when I first got here. There we go, we've been through this. Okay, but I know what the critical path of the game wants me to do. So here's kind of the thing. This is where we can start talking about the game structure. So I need to do very specific things before the game is going to let me move on through the critical path. This is not something unique to this game or any game, really. So if I click here on the door, which would take me outside, I'd better look around the classroom a little more before I head out. This is the game telling me that you've not done all the things that we require of you to do before moving on. Now, why do these requirements even exist? What is the point of these kinds of requirements? Well, I mean, generally it's mostly that unless you do the things they want you to do before leaving the room, they cannot assume that you've done that thing, and ergo making any reference to that thing in the future is going to be really dumb. Like, if they want you to talk to a certain character before leaving the room and you don't talk to that character cannot later reference the conversation that you were supposed to have. So they make it a requisite of even leaving the room to talk to the character. Pretty straightforward. In other words, this thing that I'm going to click right now is something that I need to have clicked because it's something that Makoto needs to know about, otherwise future dialogue is not going to make any sense. So what is this thing? That's the desk I fell asleep on. I can still see a line of drool I must have left there. I have to clean that up later. Hey, what's that on the desk? An orientation guide? Some kind of cheap-looking pamphlet. There's something handwritten on it. The next semester is about to start. Starting today, this school will be your entire world. What the hell? Is this someone's idea of a joke? Okay, let's see. So what might have happened is I got myself so wound up, I passed out in the main hall, and then someone carried me here? If that's true, it must mean this is a classroom inside Hope's Peak. But then if that's true, that just raises more questions. This is all really strange. I mean, those metal plates covering the windows, it's like a prison or something. It's like it's a prison or something. I'm pretty sure he would have made that line of dialogue whether or not I would have interacted with the metal plates, because I think that it's just assumed that the player noticed the metal plates with their eyes, and at the very least Makoto did, and now he's telling you that there are metal plates. So I don't think this was a conditional dialogue that only happened because I clicked the metal plates on the windows. None of this makes any sense. I should probably head back to the main hall. It's already past the meeting time. There might be other students there now. Okay then. You can leave the classroom by pressing the R key. The R key, okay. Leave the area. Yes. Okay, now I'm out. I'm in the hallway. Jeez, this hallway is kind of weird too. This is getting stranger by the second. I honestly have no idea what's going on. Well, for now, I'll just head to the main hall. Use the WASD keys to move through the hallway. Hold down the Shift key while moving to run. So obviously it's getting the keys from Windows somehow, and because I have a Swedish keyboard, then the Shift key is called the Shift key. Okay, and also you can press the Tab key to bring up a map. How very Counter-Strike or whatever. Press the Tab key again to close the map. How convenient. Very good. Now the controls actually change compared to what was happening in the classroom. So what we have is we have two different modes of exploration. We have probably more so, but basically when you're inside a room or in a specific scenario or environment, you basically only have the pivoting, rotating controls that we saw inside the room, and you move the cursor around on a 2D surface, and now you have more of a classic FPS style thingamajig going on, right? So different control systems explained using the same keys, and it's pretty obvious when you can only do one or the other. Here's a door I'm trying to go into, but it's locked, and guess what? Unless I'm on the critical path, I'm not going to manage to open any other doors. The game is pretty clear about what I'm supposed to do. And we're gonna go through this door. By the time I got back to the main hall, everyone else was already there.
Whoa, hey! Another new kid?
Huh? Then you guys are all...
Yeah, we're all new here. Today's supposed to be our first day of class.
So, counting him, that makes 15. Seems like a good cutoff point, but I wonder if this is everyone.
Standing before me were the ultimate students that had been handpicked by the school. I looked around at everyone who'd gathered there, taking in their faces one at a time. Maybe I was just imagining it, but I could swear I could feel a kind of aura coming from each of them. Here we go. How's it going? My name's Makoto Naegi. Sorry I'm late, a bunch of stuff happened, and then all of a sudden I was just asleep.
Huh?
Whoa, you too? Things just keep getting curiouser and curiouser. So strange, I declare beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is a strange situation indeed. What are you talking about? I honestly have no idea what's going on right now.
Got it!
Just a moment, there is something else we must address.
Listen to me!
Makoto, your tardiness is unacceptable. Surely you were aware that the meeting was to start at 8 AM sharp. To be late on your first day is unspeakable. I must report you and you must accept your due punishment.
What?
What's your problem? It's not like you wanted to be late. Didn't have any control over it. God.
That's right.
Everyone just calm down. Listen, why don't we all go around and introduce ourselves? Yes, she's well raised.
Huh?
The hell? Now's no time for friggin' introductions. Maybe, but it may be good to at least find out who we all are before digging into the bigger problems here. I mean, how are we even supposed to talk to each other if we don't know each other's names?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay, so let's get introductions out of the way. Then we can move on to whatever else. Sound good? I'm still totally lost, but I think it's best to just focus on getting to know each other for now. So I guess this is as good a chance as I'm gonna get. I already looked everyone up on that Hope Speak Academy thread online, but I still don't really know what kind of people they actually are. Time to find out. I'll start by talking to those 5 over there. Right, so they're letting me talk to people in order. I'm not really sure why they're grouping them up. It's not impossible that one of the reasons is what we discussed before. So future dialogues are going to reference people I'm supposed to already have spoken to. So I can't really talk in just any order. Aim at a student and press the left mouse button to talk to them. Each conversation is important to the overall story, so keep track of how they go. Interesting. So this part is obviously a lot easier than when I was playing on my PS4, just because, you know, mouse. So, who are you, dude?
I'm Kiyotaka Ishimaru. I believe in bold simplicity. Let's work together on our educational crusade.
Dude, take a chill pill. God. Ultimate moral compass. It doesn't get much more Japanese. Like, is that even a category? Is that a thing? So that's Kiyotaka. According to what I saw about him on that thread, he went to a famous private school and won top honors every year. He's basically a flawless honor student. He's also known for the work he's done with his community's public morals committee. They say he respects rules above all else, earning him the title of Ultimate Moral Compass. Sure, I mean, if I wanted to start up some Third Reich type stuff, I'd love to have a guy like that around. Anyway, you can call me Taka. You said your name was Makoto Naegi, right? That's a good name, a strong name. You should thank your parents for giving you such an excellent name.
You hear me?
And to keep that name from losing its value, you must devote yourself every single day.
Got it.
Life is worth putting every ounce of effort into it, right? Right. This guy is kind of annoying. Okay. Who are you?
Not that you'll remember my name anyway, but I'm Toko Fukawa.
Ultimate writing prodigy. Yeah, she wrote a novel when she was 10 that got everyone talking and launched her literary career. Then 2 years ago she released So Lingers the Ocean, a love story said to be her masterpiece. The book was such a hit with women that fishermen quickly shot to the top of every hottest men poll. That's kind of funny. Despite her age, she's won countless literary prizes and all her books are instant bestsellers, which is why she's come to be known as the ultimate writing prodigy. What else would you call such a young and talented author? But I figured she'd be a lovey-dovey type, what with her masterpiece being a romance and all.
What's your problem?
It's not polite to stare, you know. Stop staring at me like I'm some filthy creature. Filthy creature? No, I just thought... I know what you just thought. You just thought you'd never seen such an ugly woman. You just thought it was so funny. No, that's not what I was thinking at all.
I'm telling you.
Don't bother trying to lie to me. She has serious self-esteem issues, among other things. I know it's true, otherwise I know you can't stand looking at me.
Anyway.
Whatever. I don't really care, I'm used to it. Wow, talk about an inferiority complex. I was way off about what a successful author would be like.
Hi, I'm Sayaka Mizono. I look forward to getting to know you.
Hi! Kawaii! The way she moves is positively mesmerizing. That pleasant scent I can't quite place. Not making the joke. Sayaka Mizono. When I saw her name in that thread online, frankly, I was pretty surprised. She's in a pop group famous all across the country. In fact, she's their lead singer. As the ultimate pop sensation, she's in high demand to appear on TV and in magazines everywhere. But actually, that's not the only reason I was so surprised to find out she'd be going to this school. I'm sure she doesn't remember, but... well, never mind. No matter how you slice it, she's really beautiful. Almost like a doll or something. I'm not a doll, you know. I'm alive. Huh? Did you hear me? I'm psychic. Huh? Kidding. I just have really good intuition. She's a sharp one.
Hey,
By any chance... now what?
huh?
Yeah, it must be. I'm sure of it. Hey, Makoto,
Just hold on.
Jeez, you guys, how long do you plan to waste our valuable time with this ridiculous back and forth?
Um,
Sorry, you just got carried away, I guess.
You hear me?
Self-introductions are for introducing yourself, not bumming through a bunch of idle chit-chat. You're right. So, there's some sort of reason why we were not allowed to continue the conversation in the way Sayaka wanted it to go. So I'm sure this is a topic that we're going to revisit later.
sorry.
Sorry, Makoto. We can talk about this later. And now I can't actually follow up immediately because reasons. I'm not supposed to know what you wanted to talk about yet. But it's not like we'll never see each other again. Like she said, we can talk later. Okay, who are you?
Yo, the name's Leon Kawada. What's up?
Hey, Leon. Ultimate baseball star, Leon Kawada. Alright then. I recognize that name. He played for the National High School Champs as their cleanup hitter, the ultimate baseball star. And that superb athletic specimen is... you? Seriously? Huh? What's wrong? Nothing, I'm just surprised. I figured with you being the ultimate baseball star and all.
Give me a break.
Whoa, were you expecting some kid with a shaved head? Shaved head? No, I was just expecting more of a, you know, sporty-looking, traditional baseball player type. I mean, when I found that article and picture of you online, that's how you looked then. What? Oh, man. Oh, you found that picture of me playing baseball. Seriously, I hate that picture.
What the crap?
This is not cool. This is so not cool. Seriously, I'm, like, mega embarrassed right now. I didn't have a choice, okay? Shaving your head like that is part of national championship regulations.
I mean, seriously?
But now I refuse to cut my hair, and I'm not gonna dye it back to normal either.
Hey, listen.
Actually, can I be totally honest with you?
You know...
I don't like baseball. Like, at all. I've never gone to a single practice. He's never practiced, and he's still his team's star player? He's some kind of prodigy.
Yeah!
And as soon as I got accepted here, I quit baseball for good. I have my own dream for the future. A dream for the future? My only path in life is getting into music. You can feel that star quality aura I have, right?
You know what I mean.
I'm gonna be a singer, so all I need is a songwriter and someone on guitar, and we're set.
How cool is
Sure.
that?
This new version of me, that's chasing after my dream is like super cool to the max. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I never imagined I'd hear something like that from a baseball all-star. And then we have this guy.
I am Hifumi Yamada. But if you want to call me by my nickname,
The Alpha and the Omega.
I don't mind.
Dude, nobody calls you that. By the way, how much do you know about the world of 2D art? Well, what I don't know, I'm sure this game is going to teach me by its extensive use of 2D art by the time we're done. Just a quick reminder of what we spoke about before. So far, all we have is 2D character overlays on top of a 3D background that's been zoomed into in a certain way. I mean, keep in mind how much we've been playing so far and how few assets have been used. This is, again, one of the advantages of making games in this genre. It's just, if you have good writing, it's laughably easy. World of 2D? Well, in that world, I am well known and supremely well regarded as the ultimate fanfic creator. I once sold 10,000 copies of one of my fan comics at a school festival. The event has passed into legend. God damn it, go away, antivirus. Some of them didn't get it, of course, saying I'd tainted the event. How stupid can you be? Moment, please. Oof. That's too bad about them, but selling 10,000 copies like that is definitely pretty remarkable.
However,
The words of such idiots mean nothing to me. I'm like Van Gogh, utterly unappreciated in my time. I'm a soldier serving night and day to destroy all mindless preconceptions about fanfiction. Good job. I'm sure if you were to observe my work, Mr. Naegi, you would comprehend its greatness immediately. For my work is filled with deepest meaning. What kind of meaning?
yes indeed.
It's about embracing our basest urges. I don't think I want to comprehend it. Okay, first batch done. Okay, now to talk to those 5 people over there. Starting with you.
Heya!
Hey,
I'm Aoi Asahina, but my friends just call me Hina. What's up?
hi, Hina. Aoi Asahina. She's been breaking records in every competition she's been in since elementary school. She's even been chosen as an upcoming Olympic cadet. She is without a doubt the ultimate swimming pro. The combination of her ability, appearance, and proportions has been widely discussed online. So, what was your name again? Sorry, totally forgot. Makoto Negi. Oh yeah, I knew it was something like that. No, not something like that, it is that.
You got it!
Sure, got it. Here, I'll hammer it into my brain right now.
Yeah!
She just kept repeating my name and moving her finger across her palm like she was writing something. What are you doing?
Huh?
You don't know? If you want to remember someone's name, you gotta write it on your hand 3 times. I've never heard of that before in my life. Hey, by the way, how do you spell your last name? You spell it exactly like it sounds. Well, I have no idea. I'll just figure it out later and write it down.
Okay.
Anyway, glad to meet you. Sure, same here. Well, one thing I learned is she's totally easygoing and bursting with energy. Who are you?
Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Chihiro Fujisaki.
Hello. Sorry, I get kind of embarrassed whenever I introduce myself like this. Anyway, I hope we can get along. Same here, nice to meet you.
Huh?
Maybe it's just my imagination, but have we met before? No, I don't think so. We just met for the first time, which is why I said nice to meet you. Oh yeah, good point. Sorry. You don't have to apologize for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Chihiro Fujisaki is known for all the cutting-edge programs she's created. She's the ultimate programmer. She's also got that timid little bunny type thing going, which has endeared her to her legion of fans. Hey, so listen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Huh? What are you apologizing for now? Well, just because you seem upset, you must be mad at me, right? No, not at all. I was just lost in thought about something. Huh? Lost in thought? Yeah, it had nothing to do with me being upset or anything.
Thank you.
Oh, that's good. I was afraid maybe you didn't like me. I'm glad. I'm starting to understand why her fans are so into her. Okay, who are you? Can I ask you your name?
My name is Kyoko Kirigiri.
Okay. ultimate question marks. This feels important. She's pretty tight-lipped, huh? Oh, but you know, her name didn't show up anywhere in that Hope Speak Academy thread. And I did see that there were students like me, ones who didn't have any real identity or presence. Could this girl be one of them? So what are you doing at this school?
What?
What's that supposed to mean? No, I just meant getting invited here means you're some kind of ultimate something, right? So what ultimate something are you?
That doesn't matter.
Why should I tell you? Huh? Well, I guess you don't have to tell me. No, I don't have to tell you, so I'm not going to. Nothing about her turned up online, so I was thinking maybe she got picked by chance like me, but... Her face is like an iron mask. If she doesn't want to tell me anything, no point in asking. That's fair.
Hi! I'm Junko Emishima. Charmed, I'm sure.
Hi, Junko. Anybody will recognize this one. She's got more charm and presence than any high school girl in the country. She's the ultimate fashionista. I've seen her on tons of magazine covers, but I feel like that doesn't quite match up to reality.
What?
Huh?
Come on.
Oh, are you talking about my cover photos and junk? Aha. Well, of course. Those are totally photoshopped. Photoshopped? Yeah, you know, edited to hell and back with like computers and junk. Oh, so they aren't real.
What can we do?
Come on, don't act so surprised. You're gonna make me all depressed.
Totally.
It's totally normal these days to Photoshop the crap out of cover photos. If you're surprised by that, you'd be totally blown away by a certain dangerous little diva of ours. They make the eyes and junk super big and tweak the skin so it looks all ceramic and porcelain. Oh. So many dreams are getting crushed today. Oh, this guy.
Name's Mondo Owada. Nice to fucking meet you.
Rude. Ultimate biker gang leader. This is still funny. Mondo Owada, huh? Which means he's the current leader of the largest biker gang in Japan. He's earned respect, even awe, from every gang in the country. He's the ultimate biker gang leader. I like the notion that there are lesser biker gang leader mini-bosses around him. Nice to meet you too.
Yo.
Hell yeah. I'd better be careful around him. One wrong word and I could wake up at the bottom of the sea. Foreshadowing, maybe. Those four over there are the only ones left.
I am Sakura Okami.
Sure you are. Oh geez, I almost asked her if she was a guy. The day I say something like that out loud is the day I get turned into a human meatball. But now I remember, she competed in martial arts tournament in America and won, despite being a girl. She's the ultimate martial artist. She's fought in over 400 matches and never lost a single one. That doesn't sound possible, but okay. That thread also said a bit more about her. Some call her Ogre. Some even think she's the closest known relative to the primates, the famed missing link. Yeah. Any incoming Hope Speak students who are reading this, let me warn you right now, if you value your life, avoid her at all costs. Nah, I would befriend Ogre. You get on her good side, you're gonna be okay. Standing in front of her now, I don't think they were exaggerating about that.
Hey.
Hey you. Huh? Yes? I snapped to attention without even realizing it. Then she started to poke and prod at my body. What are you?
I see.
Muscular quality and quantity is right around that of an extremely ordinary high school student. What a shame. You're not at all fit to act as my training partner. I'm not sure that's such a shame for me.
Name's Byakuya Togami.
Of course it is. The ultimate affluent progeny. I love the notion that you could be the ultimate at being a pampered little shit. Hi, nice to meet you. That's the most half-assed introduction I've ever heard. But there isn't really anything I can do about it. Even among the ultimate students, this one is special. Byakuya Togami. He's the heir apparent of his family's massive financial conglomerate, so he's basically Trump? I don't know. He's already started managing business operations, and his own personal assets are, well, vast. His title of Ultimate Affluent Progeny is completely accurate. He's the definition of exceptional. That's everything I learned about him from that Hope's Peak Academy thread online.
Come on.
We're done with introductions, right? How much longer are you gonna stand there? Go away, I'm sick of looking at you. His aura says to me, you and I will never stand on the same level, like a king in training. Sounds about right.
I'm Yasuhiro Hagakure. Hero for short. Take it easy, yeah? I know I will.
Chill. The ultimate clairvoyant, I love it. Yasuhiro Hagakure, known as Supernova in the psychic community, the trend-setting ultimate clairvoyant. Honestly, I don't really get all that fortune-telling stuff, it's pretty much beyond me. Still, I can't help wondering if there's any truth to it.
Could it be...
Okay, I give up. Huh? What happened?
You're serious?
I saw it. Looked right at it. Seriously, I totally saw it. Saw what? A guardian angel with a crazy perm chasing after Bigfoot running off with a skyfish in its mouth. And that guardian angel is your guardian angel. Nah, I'm just kidding. But hey, we should grab some brewskis sometime and get real deep into Lemuria and its civilization. What? We're not allowed to drink. We're in high school.
You know?
Oh, I'm actually 21. I've been held back a few times, see, and, well, it's a long story. A few times? Yeah, I bet that is a long story.
I do not think we have been introduced. I am Celestia Ludenberg.
Celestia Ludenberg. Ja. Sounds a bit Deutsch. Celestia Luden, huh? Ludenberg. It is my name, but if you don't mind, I would prefer for you to call me Celeste. You are Japanese, right?
Huh?
Of course. Why do you ask? If you don't mind, could you tell me your real name? I don't know what you're talking about. Celestia Ludenberg is my real name. Okay? As I mentioned, I would much rather you call me Celeste. Let's go for Celeste then. She's polite, but pretty forceful at the same time. I don't think she wants to say any more about it. I guess the rumors in that thread were right about her. The self-styled Celestia Ludenberg, she's the ultimate gambler who's never lost a bet. Other than her obvious love of gothic Lolita clothes, everything about her is wrapped in a veil of lies. They say she entered and won an underground gambling tournament, earning the title Queen of Liars. She totally cleaned out the other players, taking their life savings and laughing as she did it. I look forward to getting to know you better. Hehehe. That smile is beyond deceptive. I'd better watch myself around her. And with that, all the introductions are done. Even though they're all ultimate, they each have their own individual sort of, something. Well, personality. Okay, time to get down to business. This is no time to stand around making friends like a bunch of dull-eyed baboons. Charming. Oh, that's true. I think someone said something about a bigger problem or something. What was that about?
Listen.
Well, you see, Makoto, you said a bunch of stuff happened and then you were just asleep, right? Well, the same is true for all of us. What? Seriously?
I mean, seriously?
Just after each of us got to the main hall, we lost consciousness. And when we came to, we were somewhere here in the school. That's what happened to you, right? But that's just weird, that every one of us would get knocked out like that.
Piece of shit!
Exactly. That's why we're all freaking out. And that's not the only thing. You saw where all the windows in the classes and hallways were, right? But instead of normal glass windows, it was a bunch of big metal plates. What's that about?
Are you for real?
Plus, all my stuff's missing, even my cell phone. Yeah, you're right, I haven't seen my PDA anywhere either. And then there's the main hall here. Front exit is completely blocked by some giant metal hatch.
What does this mean?
There wasn't anything like that when I first got here.
What the heck?
What's it doing there? Maybe we got caught up in some kind of, like, you know, crime or something.
Is it?
What, like a kidnapping? You think maybe someone grabbed us and hauled us off and we're not actually at school?
Hey, come on.
Don't think like that, cheer up. I bet this is all just part of the school's orientation procedure.
You know?
Yeah, I'm sure that's it. So I'm just gonna take it easy for a little bit.
I see.
Oh, so you think they wanted to do something to surprise us?
What the hell?
Huh? Well, if that's all it is, it's nap time for me.
You know what I mean.
I was up way too late last night, so I could use a little shut-eye. I could feel everyone's tension evaporating. But then, it began.
Testing. Mic check 1, 2. This is a test of the school broadcast system.
Am I on? Can everyone hear me? Okay, well then.
Voice seemed totally out of place. It was so playful, so completely unconcerned. I couldn't help but feel a deep, unnerving dread at the sound of it. It was like hearing someone laugh at the scene of an accident.
To all incoming students, I would like to begin the entrance ceremony at... right now! Please make your way to the gymnasium at your earliest convenience. That's all. I'll be waiting.
What the hell was that just now?
Goodbye.
Well then, if you'll excuse me. Hey, what? You're gonna take off just like that?
Could it be?
Oh yeah, now I get it. This whole thing was just to get us all pumped for the entrance ceremony. Man, thank God it was all a joke. I'd be totally freaked out if this was real.
You know?
Alright, I guess I'll head out too. Wonder what they got planned for us next. Damn, I was totally looking forward to that nap too. Why'd they have to go and kill the mood?
Huh?
Wait for me, I want to go with you. That's that then. See you all there.
Anyway.
Not that anyone cares, but I'm gonna go too. Everyone took off for the gym, but I was frozen where I stood. That uneasy feeling I'd had before, I couldn't get it out of my mind. And it looked like I wasn't the only one. This doesn't seem right.
This is bad.
Yeah, that announcement was totally weird.
However,
Maybe, but just staying put doesn't mean we'll be safe. Besides, aren't you guys just a little bit curious to find out what's going on around here?
I see.
If we do not move forward, we learn nothing. The only choice is to push ahead. I guess she's right. But still, I'm kind of, really nervous. We don't have a choice, we have to go. They said to go to the gym, right? And there's the checkpoint. So that was the critical path thus far. We're supposed to go to the gym. In the interest of time, I'm not going to have all the optional dialogue. Leave the area, yes. So there was obviously a bunch of optional dialogue that I could engage in there, but there's been so much dialogue that was non-skippable already, or that I really didn't want to skip. That was part of the critical path, so I'm just going to go straight to the gym and follow the critical path, as I said. Getting here. Some people are already gathered.
Come on.
God, I had no idea this Hope's Peak Academy place was going to be such a pain in my balls. It really ain't that much different from the time I spent in juvie. Hell, this place is even worse. And why isn't there anyone here? Walking through the halls, I didn't see a single person.
This is bad.
Isn't that, like, seriously not good? They're just trying to spook us. They'll take those metal plates down later, I'm sure of it. All we can do now is hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Shit.
Well, hell. It ain't like I'm scared or nothing. Let's just get this over with.
Hey, damn it.
Hey, where's whoever called us here?
What are you thinking?
Mondo, stop. No running. Oh, some of the dialogue is so good.
Well then.
I too shall go. Hey, wait. Don't leave me here all alone. I'm not doing the scream. Okay, time for some more tutorial action. You can press the tab key to observe the room you're in. Observing will display what people and objects you can interact with. Sorry for the late notice. Now this is clearly only true for the rooms that are organized in that way. Like when I'm in free roaming mode and get to walk around using the WASD keys, the tab button is what gets my map up, right? In this instance, because it's not that kind of context, because it's one of those like exploration type rooms, tab does something else. So the blue circles are things I can interact with, and the purple ones are not things, they're people. School has a lot of TVs, they couldn't all just be for that weird school broadcast, could they? Let's see, can I just skip through this, or do I have to talk to someone? No. Still filled with uneasy dread, I did what the announcement said and went to the gym, and I saw what was waiting for us there. Oh, it really does look like an entrance ceremony.
Yo.
See, told ya, it's totally normal entrance ceremony stuff. Hero was right, but in a way that just emphasized how completely not normal all of us were.
Hey there, howdy, hello! Is everyone here? Good! Then let's get things rolling!
Parentheses, I've only played the game in Japanese before, so I'm actually quite excited to hear some of the English voice acting, and so far I think it's pretty good. That bear.
Huh? Teddy?
teddy bear?
I'm not a teddy bear. I am Monokuma! And I am this school's headmaster. Nice to meet you all.
Such a bright voice and carefree attitude was completely out of place, and all that anxiety I'd been carrying with me suddenly transformed into outright fear. Well, the teddy bear can talk. Calm down, I'm sure there's just a speaker inside it.
Hey!
Told you already, I'm not a teddy bear. I'm Monokuma, and I'm your headmaster. Ah, it moved. Seriously, man, calm down. It's probably just a remote-controlled toy or something. How dare you compare me to a child's plaything? You've cut me deep. Deeper than the Mariana Trench. My remote control system is so complex, even the folks at NASA can't recreate or even comprehend it. Ah, but don't make me say stuff that might destroy NASA's dreams. I just couldn't bear that. Sigh.
Well,
Bear that. Really, you are unfortunate. Now then, moving on. We really must hurry and get started. Giving up already? No other stupid bear puns?
Now then.
Quiet down now, quiet down. Ah, okay, so... He has abandoned the gag.
Good morning!
Everyone stand at attention and bow. And good morning.
You hear me?
Good morning.
What's your problem?
You don't have to say it back.
Now then.
Let us commence with the most noteworthy and memorable entrance ceremony. First, let's talk a bit about what your school life here will be like. Now, make no mistake, you few students so full of potential represent the hope of the world. And to protect such splendid hope, you will all live a communal life together solely within the confines of this school. Everyone will live in harmony together and adhere to the rules and regulations of the school. Now then, regarding the end date for this communal life. There isn't one. In other words, you'll all be here until the day you die. Such is the school life you've been assigned. What did he just say? Until the day we die?
Yep.
Oh, but fear not, we have quite an abundant budget, so you won't lack for all the common conveniences.
Hold on a second.
That's the least of our worries right now. Yeah, what the hell? You're saying I have to live here forever? You're screwing with us, right? I'm not screwing with you. I'm no liar. Of that you can be 100% sure. And just for your information, you're completely cut off from the outside world. So you don't have to worry about that dirty, dirty land beyond these walls ever again. Cut off? So all those metal plates all over the school? They're there to keep us trapped in here? That's exactly what they're there for. No matter how much you may yell and scream for help, help will not come. So with all of that in mind, feel free to live out your life here with reckless abandon.
Hey, come on.
Come on, what the hell is this? I don't care if the school or whoever else is behind it all, this is just a really bad joke. Yeah, cut this shit out, it isn't funny anymore. You keep saying this is a lie or a joke. A bunch of skeptics, all of you.
What are you gonna do?
But I guess you can't help it, huh? You all grew up in an age where you're taught to doubt your neighbor. Well, you'll have plenty of time to find out whether or not what I say is true. And when that time comes, you'll see with your own eyeballs that I speak the undeniable truth.
most unfortunate.
Having to live here forever would be quite the problem.
What's this?
Come now, what's the matter with all of you? You decided of your own free will to attend Hope Speak Academy, didn't you? And now, before the entrance ceremony is even finished, you've already decided you want to leave.
Hey!
Oh, but you know, I guess I did forget to mention one thing. There is one way for you to leave the school. Really? As headmaster, I've crafted a special clause for those of you who would like to leave. I call it the graduation clause.
Now then.
Now, let me tell you about this fun little rule. As I mentioned, in order to maintain an environment of harmony here, we rely on a communal lifestyle. And if someone were to disrupt that harmony, they and they alone would be allowed to leave the school. That, my students, is the graduation clause.
What?
What do you mean by disrupt the harmony? Well, you know, if one person were to murder another. Murder?
Yes, indeed.
Stabbing, strangling, bludgeoning, crushing, hacking, drowning, igniting. How you do it doesn't matter. You must kill someone if you want to leave. It's as simple as that. The rest is up to you. Give it your all to achieve the best outcome in the worst way possible. A chill shot down my spine. You must kill someone if you want to leave. As soon as I heard those words, my blood went cold. I bet that got your brain juices flowing. Beats the heck out of human catching a salmon, huh? Like I said before, you guys are the hope of the world, but you know, taking that hope and seeing it get murdered creates a darkened shadow of despair.
Extreme!
And I just find that so darn exciting.
What the hell?
What the hell are you talking about? To kill each other, it's... To kill each other is to kill each other. I'm sure there's a dictionary here somewhere if you need it.
What are you saying?
We know what it means, that's not the problem. Why do we have to kill each other? Yeah, stop blabbering on with all this nonsense, just let us go home already.
Blabbering? Blabbering? What do you mean blabbering? Stop blabbering on about blabbering on!
You guys just don't get it, do you? Let us go, let us go. You keep on saying the same thing over and over and over and over. Listen, from this moment on, this school is your home, your life, your world. Got it? And you can kill as much as you want to kill. So go ahead, go on a killing spree. Alright, come on. How long are you going to keep this up? Hey?
You know?
You got us, okay? You scared the hell out of us, so you can go ahead and reveal the trick now. Reveal the trick?
I'm right?
Yeah, because I mean, you know, this is all some kind of trick and all, right? So, like...
Shit.
Dude, shut the hell up and get out of my way. Shoving Hero aside, Mondo placed himself in front of Monokuma, his voice rumbling like thunder.
You're fucking dead.
Listen up, asshole. This shit's gone way too far. What the hell kind of joke is this?
What's the matter?
Joke? What do you mean? Like your hair?
You son of a bitch.
Mondo roared out, and then there was a sudden boom. There was the sound of the floorboards as he kicked off and launched himself into the air. He flew at Monokuma, fast and straight as a bullet. He'd locked on his target.
Gotcha, you little piece of shit. I don't know if you're a toy or a stuffed animal or whatever the hell. Either way, I'm gonna rip you to fucking shreds!
What? Violence against the headmaster is in violation of school reg...
Shut the fuck up! Let me out of here, I swear to Christ! Hey, damn it.
What? No smartass comeback this time?
Piece of shit!
Stop that goddamn beeping and say something.
Watch out!
Watch out, get rid of it.
Huh?
Hurry up and throw it. I don't know if her ferocity stunned him into silence or what, but without a word he did what he was told. He threw Monokuma, and as soon as he did... The hell?
What the...
That sure as shit wasn't a joke, it blew the hell up. There was a painful ringing in my ears, and I could smell gunpowder. Explosions might happen all the time in movies or whatever, but when it's in real life, I've never seen anything like it. But you know, this means that the teddy bear has been destroyed, right?
Hey!
I told you I'm not a teddy bear, I'm Monokuma. Ah, there's another one! You son of a bitch! You seriously tried to kill me just now.
Of course!
Well, yes, I was serious about trying to kill you. You did violate one of the school regulations, after all. I'll let you off with a warning this time, but you'd better be careful from now on. Any naughty boy or girl who violates my rules won't get off with just a little swat on the butt.
This is bad.
Hey, so does this mean there's like a bunch more of you around somewhere?
Yep.
Monokumas have been placed all throughout the school, yes. Plus, don't forget the surveillance cameras installed everywhere. And if you're caught breaking any rules, well, you all just saw what happened, right? And I won't be so forgiving with my punishment next time, so don't let it happen again. That's not even punishment, that's just wrong.
Well?
Now then, lastly, to commemorate your joyous entry into our school, I have a little something for you. This is our official student handbook. Pretty cool, huh? As you can see, it's fully digital, so naturally we call it the e-handbook. Well, yes, moving on. This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many uses, many more uses than that. Also, it's completely waterproof. Splash it, wash it, drown it, it'll keep on ticking. And thanks to its space-age design, it can withstand an impact force of up to 10 tons. Very resistant. It contains all of our school regulations, so make sure you review them thoroughly.
You guys?
You'll hear me say this a lot, but any violation of school regulations will not be tolerated. Rules restrict, yes, but they also protect. Society, for example, would be utter chaos without laws.
Yes, indeed.
The same thing applies here, which is why it's crucial we have strict punishments in place for violators. Okay, well, that brings our entrance ceremony to a close.
Bye-bye.
Please enjoy your abundantly dreary school life, and see ya! And with that, he was gone, leaving us all in a state of shock. So, guys, how do you define what we just experienced? How? Why? I don't understand any of this. We have to live here forever, or kill? What just happened?
Calm down.
Everyone, we need to just calm down. First, let's just take a second to summarize everything we just heard. Based on what Monokuma said, we essentially have two choices. Choice number one is that we each stay here living a communal life together until the day we die, and the other choice is, if we want to get out of here alive, we have to kill someone. Right. But killing someone, that's... We were abducted out of nowhere and stuffed into this place meant to look like a school. And now we're supposed to start killing each other? This is just... What is this?
Ridiculous.
A lie is what it is. All these ridiculous things we've heard, this all has to be fake. Right now it doesn't really matter if it's real or fake. What matters is there anyone here who's seriously considering all this? To that, nobody had a response. Keeping quiet myself, I looked around at the others. They all stared at one another, trying to gauge each other's thoughts. I could almost taste the hostility. And that's when it hit me. I realized the true terror hidden within the rules Monokuma had laid out. You must kill someone if you want to leave. Those words had planted vicious thoughts deep within each of us. Each of us became suspicious of everyone else, and we were forced to wonder, is somebody going to betray us? And that was how my new school life began. This school, which had come out of nowhere to raise my hopes so high, it's not a school of hope, it's a school of despair. Prologue, welcome to despair. The end. Okay, prologue over, and now we're jumping into the game proper. And yeah, intro's going again. We're gonna skip it this time because we've already seen it when we started off the game, I think. I'm pretty sure that it's the same intro, so we're gonna skip it this time. Got an item. You received the school crest present. That's interesting. Save data? Yes. Save it. Okay, cool. So, you must kill someone if you want to leave. My mind froze and my breath caught in my throat as I thought about that. I could feel a paralyzing fear slowly making its way through my body, dominating every last nerve. The air hung heavy on me, pressing down like a weight around my neck. It took everything I had just to endure that weight. There we go. Chapter 1. To survive. Daily life, it says. But for as heavy as the air felt, all it took to pierce it was her sharp words.
And?
So, what are you going to do now?
Hey.
Just stand around glaring at each other? Her pointed comment was directed at everyone in the room. It helped pull us back to reality. Right, she's right. Sometimes, even if you're nervous or afraid, you just have to step forward. To forget such a simple fact, I can't forgive myself. I'm so ashamed.
You hear me?
Please, someone hit me. I can't forgive myself. Somebody hit me. Punish me. Jesus, if you have time to yell about it, you have time to do something about it.
However...
Perhaps, but what is the mission exactly?
Stupid.
Idiots, to look for a way out, duh.
What the?
And we totally need to find whoever was controlling that stupid bear and beat the hell out of him. But before we do all that, maybe we should take a look at the handbook? It's probably best to check out the school regulations Monokuma mentioned before doing anything else.
This is fine.
True, if we stumble around with no clue what the rules are, something like that might happen again. Shit.
Alright, so then...
Fine. Then let's hurry up and check out the stupid rules already. Okay. So we're opening the handbook. Makoto Negi. After turning on my e-handbook, the first thing that appeared was my name. So, just like Monokuma said, the owner's name showed up front and center. Then, from the main menu that popped up, I selected the school regulations icon. Itemized list appeared on screen. It was the school regulations, in other words, the rules being imposed on us all. Students may reside only within the school. Leaving campus is an unacceptable use of time. Okay. Nighttime is from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Some areas are off limits at night, so please exercise caution. Okay? Sleeping anywhere other than the dormitory will be seen as sleeping in class and punished accordingly. Though I have a feeling that the way in which Monokuma is going to punish sleeping in class, well, it's not what you'd expect. 4. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion. Violence against Headmaster Monokuma is strictly prohibited, as is destruction of surveillance cameras. Anyone who kills a fellow student and becomes blackened will graduate unless they are discovered. Additional school regulations may be added as necessary. So just as a quick parenthesis, this is the rules for the school and for the students, and it's kind of like the in-fiction rules, but it's also the rules that will most of the time apply to the player's situation as well. I mean, these are actually clues some of the time, and they're going to be important for actually solving the game, so to speak. So the game tries to be mostly consistent, and if and when any of these actually doesn't apply, it's usually for a very good reason. So it's good to kind of know the rules in the back of one's head, because sometimes that will yield a solution to a given problem. Feeling a slight dizziness, I raised my face up from the screen. As I looked around, I saw the same stormy expression on everyone's faces.
Stop fucking around.
This is bullshit. What the hell kind of rules are these? I'm not gonna let them control me. Well then, why don't you wander around the school without a care in the world and see what happens? Personally, I would love to see what happens when someone breaks one of the rules.
However...
But if he got punished like what we saw before, I don't think there'd be a respawn waiting for him.
Yo.
Ever since I was a kid, I grew up with my older brother pounding this into my head. When a man makes a promise, he has to keep it, even if it kills him.
And...
So what?
What?
I made a ton of promises that I still have to keep. That's so what.
Piece of shit.
So I can't afford to die in here. None of that made much sense to me, but you are saying you will follow the regulations, is that it?
That's true.
Huh? Oh well, yeah, I guess you're right. Hey, I have a question. For regulation number 6, what do you think it means exactly? Anyone who kills a fellow student and becomes blackened will graduate unless they are discovered. You're talking about the second half, right? Where it says unless they are discovered. I was wondering about that myself. It's saying that if you want to graduate, you have to kill someone without anyone finding out it was you. But why? Why do we have to do that? I don't see any reason to worry about it. Just worry about following the rules as they've been explained to us.
Such ignorance.
Frankly, I don't want to hear anything from someone who waits for others to decide what to do for them. Don't jab at me.
Give me a break.
More like a full-on stab. Well, for now, let's forget all that silly junk about murderers or whatever.
Okay.
Now that we know the rules, let's start exploring the school. True, we need to find out exactly where we are. Is there any way to find out? Or rather, is there any way out? What about food and supplies? There are tons of questions we need to answer.
Let's do it.
Damn straight. Okay, let's all start looking around. I'll be going alone.
What?
What? Why? That's a pretty stupid idea, don't you think? Someone here might already have started thinking about murdering one of us. Are you saying we should stand around with them in our midst and make it much easier for them? Wait, hold on a second. That would never... Don't bother saying it couldn't happen. You can't deny the possibility. That's why you all seized up with fear when that graduation rule was made clear to you. Am I wrong? But... So, I'm simply acting in accordance with what I think is best for me.
Just hold on.
Hold on, like hell I'm gonna let you run off and do whatever you want.
What?
Out of my way, Plankton.
Right?
What? The fuck's that supposed to mean?
Such ignorance.
One tiny bit of plankton drifting across the sea. So minuscule, so insignificant, they couldn't possibly have any kind of influence on the boundless ocean.
You're fucking dead.
I'm gonna kick your ass. Stop it, we shouldn't fight.
What?
Fuck you just say? You're some kind of goody-goody little bitch?
You want to throw down?
Who do you think you are talking to me like that? You think you're my fucking dad or something? No, I wasn't.
You son of a bitch.
Fuck you. Wham. He punched me, and I flew back in a heap. It was like something straight out of a comic book. I didn't even see the punch coming. It was just suddenly right there in my face. One second I was standing there, the next I was soaring through the air. Now that I think about it, maybe I'd kind of forgotten the kind of people I'd been trapped here with. My common sense had just stopped functioning. Being around all these ultimates had blown my fuses, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised it led to something as absurd as this. But I just lost track of that sense of reality. That was my last thought as my consciousness started to fade, before it finally cut off completely. And when I finally opened my eyes again, what I saw was... Gah. Huh? Where am I? As if it had become part of my daily routine, I woke up in yet another room I'd never seen before. Okay, so... where am I now? You now have access to the handbook menu. You can use this to check a variety of information as you play. Open the handbook menu by pressing the F1 key. You can use this menu to check the school regulations and character info in the report card section. At certain points, map and truth bullets may not be available. You can also save and load game data under the system section. Finally, press the F2 key to review the transcript. This records all pertinent info, so use this to review comments from everyone involved. Okay, before we move on, now we're in, spoiler alert, this is our room, and we're going to interact with it a little bit. So, without spoiling way too much about what's going to happen in the future, so when the rules have been presented the way they have, there are a bunch of different strategies that one could engage in. Like, if this were real life and we were actually put in this situation, we would have a bunch of different options, I suppose. I would argue that one of the best things that one could possibly do would be to, like, bunch people up together and kind of agree to sleep in the same room or something. Like, the more people who sleep together in the same room, the less likely it is for people to become isolated from one another and picked off if and when someone decides to start killing people, right? And also you could have rules such as everyone's always walking around in pairs and stuff like that. So there is going to be some discussion within this group of people about how to proceed and what the best way forward is. But the stuff that they're going to come up with is kind of, I wouldn't say nonsensical, but for us as, you know, intelligent people, we can pretty quickly figure out that the point of the rules and the agreements that they come up with is not so much to help them survive, it's mostly to create a good backdrop for the game's mechanics and the game's content design. So for instance, the stuff that I suggested about having everyone walking around in groups and people not being alone, or, you know, all these things would actually make it really, really difficult to write potential, you know, mystery stories, right? So obviously, as a player, you're not going to be given the option to do this. You're kind of going to be tagging along and being kind of, you're going to get dragged into a bunch of agreements and a bunch of setups that you probably wouldn't agree to if you actually had a real say. But you could instantly break the game by agreeing with everyone to do all kinds of stuff that would make it impossible for anyone to murder anyone else and get away with it, right? So of course that would get in the way of the game story, so you're not going to be allowed to do that. But just like as a small observation, this is where it starts feeling kind of restricted, and there's no way around it. If you want to tell a story such as the one that this game tries to tell, you have to have these kinds of limitations, because there are certain choices that if the player were allowed to make them, they could just roll curtains immediately. So the decisions of the group need to kind of work in such a way that the rest of the game is still possible, right? That's just a little aside. So let's look here. I think this is our room key. Key to the room. My name's written on the keychain. It means it must be mine, right? I better hang on to it for now. Cool, I have the room key. What is that over there? It's a notepad. I guess the school must have given one to each of us. Cool. And over here I have what? I have something in the drawer. It's a toolkit. Must be brand new. It's still in the shrink wrap. I don't really need it right now, so I'll just leave it here. And over here is the bathroom door, I think. This would appear to be the bathroom. Rattle, rattle. Huh, it's not opening. I guess it's locked. Here's my bed. Doesn't seem to be anything particularly strange about the bed. What's this thing? Some kind of lint roller. I guess we're supposed to clean up after ourselves. What's that over there? There's a piece of paper hanging up on the wall which says, "Announcement from Headmaster Monokuma, each room's lock has been designed to completely protect against tampering or lockpicking. Remaking an individual room key is quite troublesome, so please make sure not to lose yours. Your room comes furnished with a shower, but please note that the water is turned off at night time. Also, the bathrooms in the girls' rooms include a lock of their own. Finally, we've prepared a small gift for each of you. For the girls, a sewing kit, and for the boys, a toolkit." Now, notice how some of these words are marked in yellow to be different from the other words. I guess that means they're important somehow. The sewing kit includes a map of the body's vital organs. One stab will do the job. Girls, for the boys, we believe a strong blow to the head with any of the tools should be ample. Don't think, just feel, and let's all enjoy ourselves. This is pretty twisted. I crumpled up the sheet of paper and threw it in the trash. Looks like this door leads outside. It's locked. Some of the rooms have locks, huh? I think I'm starting to understand. This room must be... Sleeping anywhere other than the dormitory will be seen as sleeping in class and punished accordingly. So, if I've been following the rules and haven't been punished, this has to be my assigned dorm room. Someone must have carried me here after I fell unconscious. So that answers that question. The next question is, what's everyone else up to tonight? There's only one way to find out, and that's to get out of here. Okay. Leave the area? Yes. I rushed out of the room to meet with all the others, but there was someone waiting for me there. It was like something out of an old TV show. Wow. Oh.
Oh, Sayaka? Sorry. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I hope you're okay. Sorry about that.
She had an embarrassed smile on her face, etc. Are you okay, Sayaka? Are you hurt? You make it sound worse than it is. I'm completely fine. I know how I look, but I've actually built up some pretty good muscle jumping up and down on stage. That's good then. But are you okay? You know, from when Mondo hit you? That's true, I got knocked out right there in front of everyone. I guess I revealed my lack of cool right from the beginning. Oh yeah, I'm fine. Nothing wrong here.
That's good.
Oh, that's good. I was kind of worried. Thanks. By the way, what are you doing here? Actually, I came to get you. You came to get me? Well, if you really are feeling better, I was hoping you could come to the dining hall. The dining hall?
You see.
After you got knocked out, everyone decided to go and do their own thing. We decided it would be more effective if we split up to investigate. So we agreed to get together later on and talk about what we'd each found out. So does that mean it's almost time to get back together? If that's what's going on, then of course I'll go with you.
That's good.
Good. I'll go on ahead and meet you at the dining hall then. Right, so now we're in the dorm area. I've got the mini-map up. I can see who sleeps in which room just by looking and glancing at the mini-map. But right now I know I'm supposed to go to the dining room, and I know that's over there because it's not my first rodeo, so I'll just jump straight in. Okay. This must be the dormitory dining hall. It looks pretty clean, so that's good. I guess that's not really important right now, with us being prisoners here and all. Yeah, that's true. Nobody was there waiting for us. We don't really have much choice. I guess we should just wait here for now. Okay, let's just wait here. Huh, you heard that?
Like I said, I'm psychic.
Come on, I'm just kidding. Seriously, I just have amazing intuition. Is it really just intuition? It's kind of sudden, I know, but here comes a tutorial. Right now, I'd like to talk about reactions. You're going to be talking to Sayaka, right? Well, while you're talking to her, some purple words are going to appear. Here's how they work. When purple words show up, if you press the right mouse button, you'll go into reaction mode. At this point, you can use the WASD buttons to make a selection and the left mouse button to confirm it. Also, when it comes to that dialogue, you can review whatever you talked about to look for more info. Talking to someone about things like this is called a reaction. Okay, do your best to enjoy your ever-important school life. And I can already try it by right-clicking and clicking. There we go. Ah! Have you gone ahead and used it already? Well, that's just wonderful. Make sure you keep it in mind as the story keeps moving forward. Okay, I recently got done, just earlier today actually, I got done with playing the sequel. And fact of the matter is, for the sequel, they've removed the whole reaction mechanic. And I actually forgot about that. But here's the thing. Okay, hey Makoto, huh, what is it? Well, it's just, I know this is kind of continuing the self-introduction thing, but I wanted to ask you something. Okay, so now I have two reactions within this dialogue of Sayaka's. And this whole mechanic of reaction was removed from the sequel. Now, why would you do that? Why would you remove a mechanic like that? Simply because it's false choice and somewhat tedious. Like, there really is no reason not to simply step through each and every one of these, and it's basically just a ritual. So the conversation could basically just cover both of these topics already. Like, when would I ever choose not to react to one of these? Especially if I'm allowed to actually open up the dialogue again and look at the other thing, right? It doesn't make for a very interesting thing to do. Really, says Makoto. I wonder what she wants to ask me. Maybe I should ask her first. So what is the point of that, right?
Hey,
I mean, it does introduce some interaction, but it's not interesting in any way, right? I know this is kind of continuing the self-introduction thing, but I wanted to ask you something. So I have two options here, right? One or the other. But, like, why would I choose one or the other? Does it matter in what order I ask about these things? I mean, this is not... It's not really that different from when Western-style RPGs have lists of, you know, different things that you can choose between. Do you want to talk about this topic, or this topic? I don't like that solution very much either, especially when it means that you can kind of go back, restart the dialogue, and you kind of go through it as if it's some sort of mind map tree structure. Like, no one really talks like that. Anyway, continuing our self-introductions. Kind of got cut off before, but I had a question I wanted to ask you. Sayaka wants to ask me something? I wonder what it is. Now I'm really curious. So see, what was the point of that? That was kind of like the wrong choice. I think if I would have gone for the second one immediately, that would have been the right choice. And the point of the first one was just to teach me that in a multiple choice situation, you need to exhaust all of them, because you don't know in advance which is going to be the right thing to react to. Yeah, okay. Then just automate the whole thing. This is pointless. What did you want to ask me? Makoto, did you happen to go to Blackroot Junior High? Were you maybe in class 2? Yeah, actually, I was. I knew it. I went there too. I was in class 4 though. Do you remember me? Do I remember? Even back in middle school, she was a celebrity with all kinds of ultimates surrounding her. How could I forget? Almost as surprising as her question was that she remembered me. We never even talked to each other, but somehow she still knew who I was. Hey, are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm just surprised is all. I wouldn't have thought you'd remember me. We went to the same school for 3 years, of course I remember. Well, that's true, but there were lots of students in our grade, right? Plus, I've never been the type of person to ever really stand out. I'm average at everything, and all my hobbies are totally normal. Even normal would call me boring. What are you talking about? You're so strange. Strange? That's... It's almost like she's flirting with Makoto. She started giggling even louder. That somehow mysterious smile of hers made my heart grow calmer. Her smile was the nicest smile I'd ever seen.
That's good.
Anyway, I'm really glad that I know somebody here. Talking to you has made me feel a lot better about all this. You're amazing, Makoto. No, I'm really not. I'm nothing at all compared to all you ultimates. But you're the one that helped me find my courage again, not any of those ultimate students. Thank you for saying that.
Okay.
And to thank you for helping me out, I'm going to become your ultimate assistant. Huh? My assistant? Yep, I'm your assistant now. I'm going to help you out as much as I can, so let's get out of here together. When she says things like that, it just gets me pumped up. Which is nice, but still, everyone else is still late. Besides that, I don't even know what time it is right now. There must be a clock around here somewhere. Yes, there is. I'm gonna click over here. Oh, clock. No hands on the clock. See, told you. So what time is it right now? What, 7 o'clock at night? You were unconscious for a pretty long time. I see. Without being able to look out a window, I've lost all sense of time. If I have to stay in this place for too long, I might just go crazy.
Hey,
I can't believe no one's here yet, but I'm sure they'll start showing up soon. Almost like he timed it, Taka threw open the dining hall doors right as Sayaka said that.
Hey!
Ah, Makoto. Sayaka. So, you two got here first, huh? Too bad. I was sure I'd beat everyone here. I guess that just means I don't have enough fighting spirit yet. Well, I won't give up. Next time, I swear I'll win no matter what it takes. Justice shall always prevail. That's a bit much, don't you think? And soon after that, everyone else came strolling in one after another. After a few minutes, everyone had gathered in the dining hall.
Okay, it looks like everyone's here. Time to start the meeting. Let's all go around and share what we found out during our respective investigations. The sooner we find out what's going on, the sooner we get out of here.
Hold on a sec.
What are you talking about?
What about what's her name? You know, the silver-haired girl. Oh yeah, Kyoko. What about her? Well, she's not here. What? I took another look around the dining hall. Sure enough, she was nowhere to be seen. I wonder where she went. Has anyone seen her? But everyone just shook their heads. Wait, so nobody's seen her? Why hasn't Kyoko shown up yet? Could it be because...
Yes, indeed.
Stabbing, strangling, bludgeoning, crushing, hacking, drowning, igniting. How you do it doesn't matter. You must kill someone if you want to leave. It's as simple as that. The rest is up to you. Give it your all to achieve the best outcome in the worst way possible. Is it possible? Was she really... No, I'm just overthinking things. Darn it, Kyoko. You're really going to be late like this on the first day of school? Not only is she late, she didn't tell anyone she would be late. A most unbecoming personality trait. You're being a real jackass right now, you know that? But what do you want me to do? Punctuality is everything.
You hear me?
Now then, I declare that the first session of the Hope Speak Academy briefing meetings has begun. Makoto, actually, first of all, I've talked enough. Maybe we should listen to what everyone else has to say. Okay, let's do that. You know? Huh? What's up? I feel like I really have become your personal assistant, don't you agree? I may not be the best assistant in the world, but I'll give it everything I've got. No, you've already done so much as my assistant. Okay, so we're supposed to engage in dialogue with people. And I'm guessing that I have no real options, because I can't really leave. So this is game's way of telling me you have to get through all the dialogue, otherwise the story's not going to progress. So let's get through people in order. Am I allowed to... Oh. Okay, so I don't actually click them individually in this scene. That's how it works. I just have to click just there? No? The atmosphere is unpleasant, it says. So who do I only talk to? Alright, that's how it works. Sorry, getting a bit tired. So I just have to talk to her? Okay, so since you're in the dark about all this, let me lay out what's been going on. Everyone split up to investigate different parts of the building, but Byakuya and Taka went off on their own, and so did Kyoko. It looks like Leon, Hiro, Junko, and Chihiro all grouped up together. The same goes for Hina, Sakura, and Mondo. Celeste, Toko, and Hifumi were left over, so they joined up. Okay, so that's her telling me how people were grouped, and now I have to, again, go through the dialogue and just kind of dig deeper into individual words. So let's do that then. I wanted to try to find some clue as to who's responsible for imprisoning us here, but unfortunately I made no such discoveries. That's all from me. Really, that's it? If I'd uncovered anything, naturally I would have had more to say, but I didn't, so I don't. Right? Understood.
You
See, I mean, in this instance, it would probably have been better to just let me click on the people in question if I have to do it out of order. I spent some time looking around the dormitory, and there I made the discovery of the sentry. I found that there was exactly one room for each person. Well, yeah, I figured that out before anything else. Each door already has a nameplate on it, so I guess all the rooms have been assigned already. And each room key was attached to a keychain with the owner's name precision etched into it, which confirms that the room I was in earlier is in fact my room. And Chihiro and I found out that all the rooms are totally soundproof. Your next door neighbor could scream their lungs out and you wouldn't hear a thing. Okay, good to know. Well, each room also has a private bathroom, which could also lock, but it looked like there were only locks on the bathrooms in the girls' dorms. That makes very little sense. Huh? But when I checked my bathroom door before, it definitely seemed like it was locked. That's weird. I should double check that later.
Hey, come on.
Okay, so they got a bunch of rooms ready for us. They're assuming we're going to be here a while.
Quiet down and listen.
Well, better to have that. Better to have than have not. At least we don't have to worry about surviving like wild animals. That can't be all you have to report, can it, Mr. Honor Student?
Got it!
That's all for my report. Let's move on to whoever's next.
You see,
It looks like Leon, Hiro, Junko, and Chihiro all grouped up together. Let's talk to them. We went all up and down the school, double-checking the windows and all the hallways and classes. We wanted to see if we could get any of those metal plates to come off, and what happened was nothing, not a damn thing. We couldn't get a single one to budge even a little bit.
what should I do?
There wasn't any hope of escape anywhere. The school really has been totally cut off.
This is
This
bad.
sucks.
Bad.
It really sucks. It sucks. What the hell are we gonna do?
Hey, come on.
Goddamn, calm down. You're starting to make me nervous. And we start the dialogue again.
You see,
Okay. Thought maybe we could find some way to communicate with the outside, so we went looking all over. But we didn't find a thing, sorry.
Yo,
I went back to the main hall thinking maybe we could do something about that giant hunk of metal.
why?
But even with Sakura and me both, it wouldn't budge. We hit it with desks and chairs and nothing. It was hard as like metal.
Yes.
Well,
indeed.
yes, it is metal. Anyway, if we're gonna get out of here, it's not gonna be through here. Or there. I feel like I could just cry, but no, I have to hold it in. I have to manage my hydration. I should tell you what happened next. It has nothing to do with communicating with the outside world, but it's still worth worrying about. In both the school and dorm areas, there was a set of stairs leading up to another floor. But there were gates there, and we couldn't find any way to open them, so we couldn't check it out. In other words, at this point, we were only able to search the first floor. We can further assume that there is potentially something above the second floor as well. If that's the case, there is at least a chance it may lead to a way out. Okay, I guess I have one more of these.
you see,
Okay, the last one. If I'm being honest, I can't quite say we acted as one. Rather, we did nothing as one. We spent the entire time in the gym.
Most
Honestly, we're not exactly the types to go running around a school like a gaggle of junior detectives.
what the hell's wrong with you?
What the hell were you thinking, just sitting around the gym the whole time? Well, it's not like any of you invited me along. Nobody said, hey, come with us. I blame you for leaving me out. It's your fault.
What the?
If you wanted to go with someone, you should have just said something. Forget it. Like I'd want to go anywhere with a dirty slut like you. Slut? Your mind is as thin as your body. You make me sick to my stomach.
Are you for real?
I don't even know how to react. How can you say something so awful to someone you just met?
Hey, come on.
Alright guys, everybody just calm down, okay? All this stress is bad for your skin, you know? Yeah, it sounds like you two are so close, now you're fighting like sisters. I don't think that's what's going on, Sayaka.
Hey,
So that's what they have to say, huh? Then I guess I'm the only one left. So I have to start the dialogue again. I went and had a look around the dining hall. I found a fridge in the back of the kitchen and it was overflowing with all kinds of stuff. I guess we don't have to worry about food at least. Sure, for now, but even with all that, there are 15 of us. How long can the food last? You can just eat sesame seeds or something. What am I, a parakeet? I don't think we have to worry about it. All the food gets restocked automatically each day. At least that's what Monokuma said. You saw him?
okay.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere while I was checking the fridge. Told me that, then disappeared again. He was so fast, I can't believe someone could have been moving him around with a remote control. A weaponized toy that can just appear from nowhere. I can't tell if we're supposed to be afraid or not. But was everything okay? He didn't try to, like, eat you or anything? Eat her? What do you mean by that? I mean, when you say eat, what kind of eating are we talking about? Come on, man.
Hey, you bastard!
What the hell, fatty? You're acting like some kind of sleazy drunk dude.
Actually,
Not like there's a good kind of drunk dude. Hey, stop screwing around, all of you. Are you still asleep or something? We're prisoners here. We could all just die any second. She's right. We can't be making stupid jokes right now. We gotta do something, or... A voice cut through the noise, interrupting Mondo. You're all spending an awful lot of time yelling and carrying on. Do you really think you can afford to do so? Have none of you accepted the reality of the situation? Kyoko, where the hell have you been? We already started the meeting without you. She didn't say a word, instead she just dropped a piece of paper on the table. Huh? What's this? It appears to be a map of Hope's Peak Academy. A map? What the... Where'd you find this?
Well,
Doesn't matter where I found it. It does matter. You're really freaking us out right now.
but more important,
Never mind that. What's it mean?
it would seem...
Just look at it. The building we're in right now is laid out in precisely the same way as Hope's Peak Academy. So what you're saying is, This really is Hope's Peak Academy.
It's true.
Well, in terms of its construction, yes, but it looks like it's had a number of strange renovations done to it. Renovations?
However,
I don't know all the details yet. All I found was details about the first floor. But then this really is Hope's Peak. We didn't get kidnapped and taken to some other place. So stupid it's not even possible. This is where the country's future elite are supposed to come and learn? But if this really is Hope's Peak, where are all the other students? Hey, come on guys, let's just stop talking about this, you know, negative stuff. But aren't you worried? Things don't look good. Worried? What's there to be worried about? I mean, this was all planned out, right? The people in charge of Hope's Peak put this all together, right? Man, if I got stressed every time something like this happened, I'd have ectoplasm shooting out of my mouth.
You know?
Good things come to those who wait, right? So we just gotta chill on everything. And everything will work itself out.
What's your problem?
Why are you laughing? What's so funny? I'm just happy, that's all. It seems splitting up to investigate was a good idea after all. Haven't you been listening? Looking around was a total waste of time. We didn't find a way out. Didn't find out who's behind us. We still have no idea what's going on.
Oh,
Huh. Is it not crystal clear to you what's going on?
are you okay
It is
with this?
perfectly obvious that we have been imprisoned in some secret location with no way out. None of us had any response to that. We didn't want to accept that reality, but it was staring us right in the face. You didn't have to go and say that. I was trying to not think about it. No way out. We're trapped here. What are we supposed to do? It's very simple. If you want to leave, you just have to kill.
Stop it!
Don't even joke about that. Everyone just calm down, please. We need to stop and think about what to do from here.
seems like...
There's gotta be something we can do. All we can do is adapt. Adapt to living our lives here from now on.
That's...
Live here? Are you saying we should just accept it?
Do you understand?
A lack of adaptability is a lack of survivability. Survival is not based on who is strongest or the smartest, it comes down to who can adapt.
Actually,
As someone who has come out on top more than once, I have a suggestion.
What?
Huh? What do you mean? We all understand that we're trapped here, which means we will be spending the night. However, you all remember the rule regarding nighttime, right? Nighttime is from 10 PM to 7 AM. Some areas are off limits at night, so please exercise caution. Sleeping anywhere other than the dormitory will be seen as sleeping in class and punished accordingly.
let's see.
So regarding this nighttime, I think we need to add a rule of our own. What do you mean? Going out at nighttime should be prohibited altogether. The school regulations do not actually tell us not to go out at night. I would like to make it official. But why?
Are you okay with this?
The way things are now, every time night comes, we will all start to get worried and anxious. We will all be afraid someone might try to come kill us. What? If we have to worry about that night after night for who knows how long, it will wear us down in no time.
I see.
So you're suggesting we limit our activity at night as a kind of preventative measure.
Indeed.
However, unlike the other rules, nobody can be forced to comply. We all have to agree to follow it.
What can we do?
I see what you mean, but I think I can agree to that. It's like the little goth Lolita said, without something like that, we're just gonna self-destruct. Yeah, you say that, but again, the reason this is happening is not for the good of the group, it's actually for the good of the game designers. The point of it is to make sure that there's this stretch of time where the player is going to be confined to their room. I mean, how much do you want to bet, dear viewer, that when shit gets nasty in this game, it's going to happen during the nighttime, and then you're going to wake up to a corpse. Anyway, on behalf of all the men here, I agree to comply. Well, thanks for that, Taka.
What?
Hey, you can't just decide to speak for us.
This is fine.
So everyone is in agreement. Good. Then, if you will excuse me. Oh, wait, where are you going?
Let's see.
It is almost nighttime. I want to take a shower before it arrives.
I hope you are
So,
well.
goodbye. Moving with pure elegance, Celeste left the dining hall. Her behavior seemed so natural, I couldn't imagine anyone even trying to stop her. So I guess it's pretty obvious where we go from here. We'll be spending the night, it looks like. Adaptability. So, Mr. Chairman, what next? One person already left. Well then, what say we call an end to today's meeting?
You understand?
Like she said, it's almost nighttime anyway, we can reconvene first thing tomorrow morning.
Huh?
Do we really have to stay the night here?
What can we do?
We don't have a choice, we can't go for long without getting some help. So we have to just give up. That's all fine and good for today, but what do we do tomorrow?
So in the end...
Our only option is to split up and look around again. Let everyone know if we find anything. Yeah, okay, let's do that.
Aw,
Then we're done for today? Good, I'm exhausted. With heavy movements, everyone headed off to their private rooms. Makoto, are you ready to call it a day? Yeah, let's go. That's it. And nighttime. Is this really where I'll be staying for the foreseeable future? Oh, that's right, I should check the bathroom one more time before I go to bed. Only the girls' bathrooms should have locks on them, right? Alright, let's open it up. Rattle, rattle. It's no use. It really is locked. This is wrong. Not locked. Holy crap. Let's talk about an overreaction. It's like you just saw a ghost or something. Like some kind of robot bear ghost. What are you doing here? Makoto Naegi, this is super duper majorly bad. So bad it's almost magical. Ultra magical, awful, awful attack. Point of fact, I acknowledge that the bathroom in your room has a problem with the door frame. Wait, so the reason it won't open is because it's locked? Isn't because it's locked. The door just doesn't fit? Didn't you see the notice? What, can't you read? The bathroom and the boys' rooms don't have locks. I mean, a lock on the boys' bathroom is kind of pointless, don't you think? I don't understand. Why would it be more so than whatever? Well, it's not that it's pointless, I guess, but I'm no expert on the birds and the bees and all that. No, but someone still made a conscious choice to that. Anyway, it feels like a bit of a contrivance, and it's somehow going to be related to something in the future. Just feeling I have. Anyway, there's a little trick to opening this particular ill-fitting door, and that's what I'm here to teach you. Okay, ready? So you just gotta turn the doorknob, then lift up while you pull. Go ahead, give it a try. Turn the knob and lift the door up while I pull. When I did that, the door opened without a problem. See? It opened right up. Isn't that crazy, though? Your door is the only one that doesn't fit quite right. You're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But it looks like you're not lucky at all. Anyway, I suddenly don't feel like being here anymore. Bye. Okay then. Hey, wait. Damn it.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Looks like it's nighttime. We all promised we wouldn't leave our rooms now. All I can do now is try to get some sleep. While still mumbling to myself, I collapsed in the bed. My eyes closed almost immediately. It's not that I was ready for bed exactly, I was just utterly exhausted. It was as if I'd spent an entire day staring at a TV, watching movies. Or like some kind of illusion where I'd been tossed into a made-up fantastical world. Yeah, that feels about right. There's no easy way to just accept the situation we've suddenly been dropped into. So this is how the curtain closed on my first day at Hope Speak Academy. Soon enough, I was asleep. Would it be too much to hope that when I woke up, I'd realized it was all a dream? It's kind of lame as far as endings go, but I'd be fine with that. Actually, that'd be the best. In any normal school, Mr. Monokuma would be a kind teacher. But when I think about what's coming up, I'm just so full of pride and joy. Our ceremony earlier today was absolutely splendid. Thank you all very much. Remember that you're all students of Hope Speak Academy and strive to refine your ideals.
I swear to you, I will send you all off into a new tomorrow!
Sounds ominous.
Good morning, everyone! It is now 7 a.m. and nighttime is officially over. Time to rise and shine! Get ready to greet another beautiful day!
Apparently it's morning, but thanks to the total lack of windows, there's no way to know for sure. Anyway, what should I do now? Maybe I should go find Sayaka and we can figure out where to go from here together. She did say she's my assistant now. Okay, it's decided. I'm gonna head to her room. With the newfound determination, I left my room. Okay. For now I'm going to take a small break. I need to drink some water. All this reading is making me a little bit tired, and it's going to make for a pretty good place to cut the video because I'm going to be doing this in segments. I'll be recording the next one just shortly, but I wanted to split this up into segments in part because some people who've already played the game will probably not have that much value from seeing me play through the intro and getting as far as I have this far. But it's getting to the point where we're going to start analyzing it a little bit more in detail because the actual game loop, as it were, is going to start ramping up a bit more. So that's going to be where part 2 starts. For those of you who actually want to keep watching today, it's going to be maybe 15 minutes, half hour tops before I record the next one. So thanks for watching thus far, and see you in a little bit.